Hey up, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. I'm Tom, and this is going to be the first episode of something I'm calling One Season With. The idea of it is that we take a club, we do one season with them in Football Manager 2024 and see what we can kind of achieve. What can you expect to get with them? I see a lot of people asking, whether it's on Twitch chats or Reddit, what clubs should they manage? And I often think, well, you could manage one of the big teams, you could manage your own team. If you're a new player, that is. If you're experienced, you could go for anything, really. So the idea of this is that people could come and have a look and see, well, if I want to play that team, this is what I could expect. So a little bit about me first, because this is the first of a video. I started doing some Twitch streams about a year ago on FM, and we got our affiliate status just over a year ago. And then fast forward to a month ago, my second child was born, which means I've not been able to do streaming as much as I'd like. So I'm going to hop into the world of YouTube, hopefully, and see what we can do there. I hope it's good. If it is, let me know. If it's not, also tell me, what can I do better? If it's absolutely rubbish, well, who knows? It might never see the light of day. So if you're hearing this, then obviously I didn't think it was too bad. But without further ado, we'll hop into the game, and I'll tell you what we're going to be doing. So here we are. As you can see, Mr. Juan Season, as we've called him, has taken over PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, and we're going to see what we can do this season with them. Now, the main reason I picked PSG is because often when someone says who should I pick, I'll say PSG, because they're very rich, and the French league is supposed to be pretty easy for them, isn't it? I mean, they've won it every year for the last, I don't know, 10 years it feels like, maybe even more. It's probably not that. No, Montpellier won it, did they? Was that where Giroud played for? I digress. As much as I say to people to play PSG, I've never actually done it. So we're going to take over today and see what we can do with them this season. Right, here's the welcome from the chairperson. Obviously, big reputation, media predictions first. They're really a new club, they're only 53 years old now. But as you can see, the club history there, they've won pretty much every title bar, what, 2 out of the last 10? And so it's pretty much a monopoly on the French league at this point. Never won the Champions League though. Right, so here's the best 11, what they're saying there. Of course, Kylian Mbappe up top, we've got Evian Belly and Asensio on the wing. Skriniar's now at the club, Donnarumma in goal. So they've got a very strong first 11. And it's up to us trying to see what we can do with that first 11. Can we sign anybody to make it better? Who knows? The current objectives: win the Champions League, win League One, win the French Cup. So they're expecting a lot of us, which may make this more of a challenge than it seems. Obviously, if you don't win all 3 of those, you might get sacked. Now, I'd hope not, and I'd hope we can win at least one of them. Winning the league is required by the fans. So now the first thing you've got to look at PSG is the fact that Kylian Mbappe, his contract's expiring. So if you're planning on making this a longer term thing, you're obviously going to want to keep him at the club. I'm tempted to let his contract expire just to see where he goes, but if you're playing them, you wouldn't do that. We will look to offer him a contract actually, just to see what he wants. Right, here you go. He's happy with a 5-year deal. So you can get Mbappe in the squad pretty easily. He even takes a pay cut. The bonuses I didn't really look at, but the rest of these I am going to ignore. They only want us to re-sign Kimpembe, so not that bothered. Ethan Mbappe, that's his brother, isn't it? I mean, he looks decent. But yeah, so that's the first hurdle you've got. We'll do a tactic in a bit, and we'll see what kind of squad we want to do, what kind of formation we want to use. Obviously, you can see there Neymar's gone, Lionel Messi's gone, so we are using the standard database. We're not using the, I think it's My World, or the one where none of the transfers have gone through yet. So he's off to Saudi. Now, if we hop into the scouting section, we'll see that we've got £25 million in the transfer budget and 25k left in the wage budget. Now, that's not that much, really, for PSG, is it? I mean, yeah, you see them spending the big bucks, but if you think about what they have spent this window, 291 million. So yeah, that's quite a lot. Biggest one was Kolo Muani from Frankfurt, who's a pretty good striker, isn't he? I mean, he's big, fast, decent finishing composure there, so I don't think you really need a striker with them. Manuel Ugarte, I do like a lot. Ousmane Dembele is very good. Luca Hernandez also brought in, and a few others. So all pretty good. In terms of the players that have left, quite a few have gone. That's a lot of players that have left. The big one being Neymar, of course, £77 million to Al Hilal, and a few others have also gone to Saudi there. Diallo and Verratti both to Al Arabi. Bichiabu has gone to Leipzig. And Icardi also gone to Galatasaray. Wijnaldum's gone. There's a lot of players gone to Saudi there, haven't they? Well, anyway, so what I'll do is I will have a look at the squad, look at the tactics we can use, and then see if there's anyone we can perhaps sell. And if not, can we add anybody to the team? Who knows? We'll find out shortly. Right, so this is the tactic that we've created. It's pretty basic gegenpressing formation there for the 4-2-4. We've got Mbappe up top alongside Gonçalo Ramos, Dembele, Asensio on the wings, Fabian and Ugarte, there's the holding midfielders, Hernandez, Hakimi, Marquinhos and Skriniar at the back, Donnarumma in goal. Now, one thing I've noticed is that the squad is lacking a bit of depth, especially at the back, namely because Kimpembe and Mukiele have both got injuries. Kimpembe is out for a few months, Mukiele also potentially out for a couple of months. Bernat's injured, but I don't think he's at the club. Nuno Mendes, the left back, is injured. He's out for a long time, 7 months. And Kazawa is on the transfer list, and he's probably going to be going. I mean, he's 30 now. He's not great. And after that, that's it. So unless there's some players on the in the reserves and whatnot, we can call upon. Might look at see if we can sign some backup players to support us. Now, 2 players that we do have interest in are the 2 Spaniards, Fabian and Carlos Soler. Fabian, interest from back in Spain and Al Nassr. Carlos Soler from Al Ittihad. So there's a chance we might sell them if bids come in. Potentially get over 40 million for Fabian. We could potentially get 26 plus for Soler. So if we can get maybe 70 to 80 million for those 2, we could sign ourselves a very good central midfielder. However, it all depends on what happens from here and the season starting. So I'll come back at the end of the transfer window. We'll see what's happened, who we've signed, if anybody, who we've sold, how the results for the season have gone, and we'll update from there. Right, immediately, after only about 4 days, we've had a bid in for Fabian here from Al Nassr. So he is interested in going there, so we should be able to make a deal. They've offered 33.5 with a couple of additional fees, which would take the total up to 42.5 million. So yeah, 875 per league appearance there. So not ideal. I'd like us to get a bit more. I'd like to see if we can get maybe 38 up front, which they're happy with. So I mean, I could have probably got more for him, but we will accept that. And we'll see if anyone comes in for anyone else. So far, just as an update, Sharon Doe, we've had a loan in for him. And also Kazar had a couple of loan deals for him. Nobody's really interested in buying him. So if we can get rid of him at least, get some of his wages back, that'll be fine. And here's a bit more news. Kylian Mbappe has re-signed with the club. 5-year contract worth £241 million. Nice. He's pleased with our desire to recruit high-profile players, so let's see if we can recruit any high-profile players, and let's just see what that's done to our budget. Nothing really. He's upped the wage budget by about 18k, so yeah, maybe. So that might help us. If we can get the Fabian deal over the line, we'll then see what else we can do. Of course, just quickly looking at players who are interested in joining us. Basically anybody would join us. So it's just a case of being able to sign them. We don't quite have the money, as you can see there. Vinicius Jr. would be nice, but we don't have 80 million. Maybe we can sign him if we get some money in. We'll see. Okay, so we are back now at the end of the first transfer window, and let's have a look at what we've done in the transfer market. Starting out with the outgoings, only one real sale to speak of, and that was Fabian. Of course, we did mention that there was interest from Saudi Arabia. They did come in for him, and we managed to get ourselves 38 million going up to 47, and that put about 32 into our budget. Elsewhere, we've loaned out Kazar, we've loaned out Sharon Doe, Ekatike and Ethan Mbappe. They've all gone out on loan deals, which has got us a little bit of cash in, not too much. We use that money to replace Fabian with Kepren Turam, a popular signing I feel on this year's game. Plenty of potential, only 22 years old from Nice. You can get him for, as we've got him for £30 million there. He's pretty good all round, good dribbling, good passing, good first touch. He's a good centre midfielder. Reports say he could turn into a star league player. He's not our best at the moment. Obviously, we're a very good team, so no surprise there. And Rafinha was the other transfer we made. He was on the transfer list actually at Barcelona, so we decided to cash in. There, £30 million, well, £32 million he's come in for. So far, he's not been great. But not too bad. I thought we just needed a bit more of a bit more backup on the wings, because Mbappe got injured for a few weeks, and Ousmane Dembele got injured for a few weeks. So we've had a couple of problems going into the start of this season. So hopefully they don't continue, and we'll see how we go as the season progresses. So what I'm going to do now is advance all the way through to the end of the season, find out how we've done. Right, we're back at the end of the season. I see that we're still in charge of PSG, so I'm going to take that as a good sign that we've not been sacked, which was my worry when I saw we were 5th going into the start of the simulation. So let's see what we've managed to achieve here on the 2nd of June. That's one day after the Champions League final, so hopefully we've won big. Let's find out as we click the competitions tab. Well, it's not too bad. We've done a treble. We have done a treble. We've won the domestic title pretty easily. 86 points there. Only 2 games lost, and one of those, I've just noticed, one of those games I actually saw happen. It was Lyon on the transfer deadline day. We also lost to Lens at some point. Yeah, pretty strong showing there from us. 27 wins, 5 draws. No real surprises there. As we beat Rennes 9-1, look. 92 goal difference, 86 points. Second was Monaco, and surprisingly 72. Lens and Lille make up the top 4. In terms of the goal scorers, Mbappe got himself the golden boot on 24 goals. Gonçalo Ramos has got 19. Kolo Muani with 18. 14 assists for Asensio. Keylor Navas ended up getting 17 clean sheets, interestingly, so he must have got himself a starting berth. Not sure how. As we look at the rest of the goal scorers, as Asensio finds himself on 14 goals as well. Anyone else up there? Rafinha gets himself 10, so that's good to see. Let's go on the Trophée des Champions. Well, I knew we'd won that. We beat, who was it? Toulouse on penalties. And then the French Cup, we beat Lens 5-4 after extra time. Wow. Gonçalo Ramos at the 105th minute got us the winner after we shipped 2 goals. After we were winning, what, that, a 4-2, going down to 4-4. Ramos was our saviour. Can't complain about that one. Then the Champions League knocked out in the round of 16 by Man City. That's a shame. It ended up being won by Bayern Munich. Harry Kane getting himself a Champions League medal, which is quite funny. Group stage, we were against Arsenal, Union Berlin and Shakhtar. Not the best showing. We lost to Arsenal away, got battered actually, then drew at home with them and Union Berlin. But we did enough to get through into the second stage, which is the round of 16. If I look at this here, and how did we do? We lost 6-3 on aggregate, so not very good against Man City. If you just nip to the schedule there, we can see we lost 2-0 at home 2 goals from Haaland, unsurprisingly, and then 4-3 away. Mbappe got himself a hat-trick, but at the time he got his first goal, we were already 2-0 down, so it wasn't looking promising. I also suffered 3 injuries in that game, so not ideal. Oh, well. But I'd say treble's pretty successful in all, and that's what you can expect with PSG if you spend one season with them. Now, if you manage the team, you might do better in the Champions League. Obviously, drawing Man City is always tough. You want to try and win your group, unlike what we did, we came second. And in terms of next season, you'll be given, well, £77 million and a £600,000 a week wage budget, which you can always get rid of a bit. There you go, that's a bit more realistic. 95 million there and 267,000 in the wage budget. In terms of transfers, etc., Donnarumma's not happy. He's only played 8 games this season, so he wants to leave, and Al Nassr are after him. Kepin Thuram's also unhappy, as he's not played. He's played 2 games. That's a terrible signing. Rafinha has played a decent amount, but he's now wanted by Man City and Real Madrid, so you could potentially cash in on him. I'm saying you. Obviously, you're not playing this. If you want the save file, though, I can make it available. Is anybody leaving? Keylor Navas is retiring, and I think Kimpembe was. Yes, he's joining Atletico Madrid. I didn't bother renewing his contract. With the goals scored, then quickly look. Mbappe got himself 44 in all competitions in 46. That's very good. Ramos got 28. He's signing permanently, of course. In July, Koulibaly 24 in just 36 games in his debut season. Asensio 19, Dembele got 16. Lots and lots of goals there. Assists, Ramos surprisingly got 16. He's done really well. Asensio 16 and Mbappe also got 15. Double figures as well for Dembele, Ugarte, Vitinha and Hakimi. So looking at that, pretty good, I'd say. I don't think you could complain if you achieved this in your first season with PSG. Where was that there? 5th. Oh, funny though, that's when I actually did the I started the sim. So yeah, we were top of the league basically all season, as you'd expect. So that'll be that. We'll wrap things up there. Now I will be looking to do some more of these. I'll try and do some other leagues, some other clubs around the world. My aim is to do one in every single league that's on the game, which might be a bit ambitious, but we'll see. I'm also going to do some wacky experiments, perhaps. I've got a couple of ideas in my head, so we'll see what we can do with theirs and theirs. That's what we're saying. But that's that. So thanks for watching. If you liked this, drop a like, drop a comment, tell me what you liked. If you didn't like it, again, tell me how I can improve. It's my first video after all, so I'm all for improving and hopefully bringing some entertainment to your lives. If you want to go follow me on Twitch, you can do. There'll be the link below, as will be the Twitter, or X as it's called now. And I've got a Discord, which is fledgling. There's about 4 people in there, so I'll get that in there as well. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one season which might be with Luton. I might give them a go, because they're going to be fun this year, aren't they? See how quickly you can get relegated. Anyway, in a bit.